play. And here's Jalen Suggs. Suggs, who started, he got shot out of a cannon in game one. He really set the tone as Orlando had an explosive first quarter. Harris on Desmond Bane. Bane on the drive, looking for some room. Wagner tripped, and Duren picks up his first foul. Less than 30 seconds in, it'll be a side out for Orlando.
And Legs, you talked about Duren being one of the most important pieces to this game. Him picking up an early foul 20 seconds into the game, does that impact his aggressiveness moving forward?
What's tough about that, Franz Wagner is not like a drop-dead three-point shooter. You don't need to close out with that level of aggressiveness. Go out under control, make him do something off the dribble.
Boncaro to Bane. Bane bumped by Thompson. Wendell Carter, his shot, first one, that's no good. The tip misses. Bane on the follow. Couldn't get it to go. Cunningham the rebound. Throws it ahead, Duncan Robinson. Robinson, quick release on the three. And the follow right there. And the Pistons, obviously it's their first lead of the series because they never led in game one.
Toughest shot in basketball to defensive rebound, an air ball. Very difficult to time that up. Tobias Harris, right spot, right time.
Boncaro inside. Carter blocked by Harris. Thompson comes up with it. Flips it out. Cunningham checks his feet. Now puts it on the floor. The spin move. Back out Robinson. Here's Duren. Duren trying to bounce back from a rough game one. As Cunningham connects on his first field goal.
That's the start they were looking for. Get a couple of shots to go down early. Definitely feel a sense of pressure relief on the part of the Pistons offensively.
These are two of the most physical teams in the NBA all season. Carter stripped by Cunningham, but a foul. Two of the most physical teams in the NBA. You know how
they don't take a lot, they don't make a lot. Cade Cunningham with a good look early.
Yeah, and both all-stars, Cade Cunningham and Duren, both have fouls early in this game.
Carter with the first free throw. Wendell Carter had an excellent game one. Really strong defense. Jalen Duren just never got going. Carter was a big part of that, Legs.
I thought he was the really understated star of the game, the way that he played. He was very physical, converted almost everything, 8 for 9 from the field. His defense was exceptional, really gave them a lift on that front line and had a lot to do with Duren's night.
Harris with the rebound. Carter was the top plus-minus +20 in that game one for the Orlando Magic. Here's Cunningham, met by Suggs. Suggs, an elite defensive player. Cunningham inside to Thompson. Asar Thompson with the left hand comes up short. Wagner with the rebound. Boncaro drives on Harris. Continues, can't get it. Keeps it alive. Suggs has it. Bane, good look. Open corner three. That misses. Carter another rebound. His pass deflected, but finds its way to Suggs. Bane's going to try again, launches that one way off. And the Magic have started 0 for 7 from the field. They did get 4 offensive rebounds, but no field goals yet. Bane falls down. Harris can't take advantage. And Robinson tried to come and help out.
That deep. You tried to get to a spot, shoot the turnaround, back up, drive to the right, create something, but you have a smaller defender on you, and you end up picking up the ball and dropping off a turnover without pressure.
Typically always a fadeaway jumper to the baseline from that spot.
That's a beautiful move for Wagner. Took a bump as well and still got it to go. So finally the first field goal for the Magic. Cunningham finds his spot. Can't get that to fall. Wagner will race up the floor. Wagner had an injury-plagued season, but much healthier now. Has it blocked from behind. Good help defense from Thompson, but he stepped on the baseline. So a new 24. Asar Thompson will inbound. Pass inside. Boncaro draws another foul. A good aggressive start and a good physical start for the Orlando Magic.
And really basic basketball. You inbound the ball spot and force him out of the lane.
Boncaro misses the first as he sent it to Lisa.
Hey, Michael, after game one, Paolo Banchero told his guys in the locker room, don't drink the Kool-Aid. He said he wanted to make sure that they didn't overreact to one game. Obviously, it was a great win, he said, and people are going to tell us how good we are. But he said we can't be too excited or satisfied with one win.
Well, Banchero was locked in game one, but not on those two free throws. Missed a pair. Suggs trying to surround Thompson. Cunningham. Pass inside. Thompson reverse. Beautiful adjustment from Thompson. Lost his sneaker as he runs up the floor with it in his hand. Feed down low. Banchero, back shot, and an easy bucket for the Magic.
And RJ, you saw Duren right there. Smartly backs away. But if he doesn't have that foul early, he probably contests that shot. Maybe you force a miss. Instead, he backs away and gives up the layup.
And he's going to have to do that for the next 5-6 minutes.
Banchero pokes it out of Duren's hands. Here's Banchero against Cunningham. Goes inside. Blocked by Cunningham. Duren throws it ahead. Tobias Harris goes strong to the rim. Blocked inside by Carter. And Bane comes up with it. As you would expect, some excellent defense here between these two teams. Suggs with a little English off the glass.
Well, I will say to Orlando, they're going at Cade Cunningham. They're going at Duren. They're trying to force him, and Duren has a huge rip in his jersey.
Duren throws it up, and Thompson with the finish.
And that's why it's so important Duren touches the ball in the half court, because of those dives and rolls. He is very good at finding the baseline cutters. He didn't get any of those touches in game one.
Only had 8 points. Suggs steps back. He tries a three. He was hot from three to start game one. Another offensive rebound for the Magic. Already 5. Certainly helps your offensive rebounding when you miss a lot of shots. It's Carter blocked by Thompson. Another sensational rejection. Duncan Robinson sets, fires, connects.
Well, they feed off their defense, and what a luxury it is to have your small forward be able to go up to the top of the square as a rim protector, and it leads to numbers in the open floor, and now the defense again creating opportunities.
Beautiful play from Robinson off the turnover, and an easy bucket for the Pistons as they go up by 7.
Fordham, I can't remember which one of those two that they played.
Arizona played them well, just didn't have enough.
Look, you saw this Orlando Magic. It was 1 versus 8, and Orlando were able to get a win. Sometimes things happen on any given night. Congratulations.
Papers. We have not received word on the technical foul, which clearly that's what it was.
It was.
Oh, it was an away from the play foul, which is 1 shot and the ball. J.B. Bickerstaff was not happy. Thompson guarding Suggs. Back up top. And Carroll floats it in the corner. Suggs lets it fly. That three-pointer's good. Suggs had an excellent game one. 16 points, 4 assists. And again, that hot start set the tone. Foul on Carter as Duncan Robinson gets thrown to the floor. See the officials going close to the players after every whistle right now. Celebrate Earth Day with the NBA. Scan to learn all season long. We have the pieces to beat anybody. Pieces weren't always healthy. They're healthy now. Duren drives. Can't get that. Thompson trying to keep it alive. Suggs comes out of the pack. And Suggs bumped over aggressive in guarding Karis LeVert. First foul on De Silva.
We're going to see a lot of Bulls in the China shot tonight.
Cunningham, a contested shot, side of the rim. De Silva with the rebound. And Carroll cross court. Javonte Green seeing his first minutes for the Pistons. And Carroll drives on Herter, leans in, blocked from behind by Green. Good help defense, and another block shot for the Pistons. That's 6 already here in the first.
Body's in the corner. Fortunately, the weak side rotation at the rim was there.
Batazzi, shot clock winding down, just gets it off in time, and he's fouled by Stewart. Win a game, especially on the road when that happens. As Batazzi hits the first upcoming playoff schedule on Prime Video. Tomorrow, Knicks and Hawks in Atlanta, Cleveland playing in Toronto, Denver at Minnesota. Game 3 in those series. Cleveland has the 2-0 lead, the other two tied at 1 apiece. Both free throws good. Magic now within 1. Interesting, Ben Carroll on Cunningham. Now Batazzi comes to help out. Cunningham gets in the lane and throws down.
And that's the thing with Cunningham. He's such a great distributor, such a great passer. You kind of want to stay at home. He makes you pay if you double team him, but everything is just so smooth from him as Banchero knocks down a little mid-range jumper.
So Banchero with 6. Magic only down 1, and they're shooting 29% from the field. Cunningham again. Inside. And Cunningham points to himself. That's going to be the 5th turnover for Detroit.
We've been talking about Cade Cunningham coming off that 39-point game. Hezzy's the big, takes it. There's no one there right now. Go ahead. They're so in sync.
Yeah, seriously.
They are both locked in. They have similar coaching minds as far as how they want to approach the game. And you hear it in the first huddle. Hey, we got 5 offensive rebounds. Hey, we gave up 5 offensive rebounds.
Traveling violation on Batazzi. Moved his pivot foot. Harassed defensively by Isaiah Stewart. He can be such a catalyst for this team. That's the 3rd turnover for Orlando. Wagner back in, and Banchero getting a rest. Foul away from the ball. I think we're going to see early the officials call some of this because they understand. The officials, it's one of the things they do. They go through the scouting reports. They talk about what kind of matchup that they have. And these two teams will really get after each other. We've seen that already. LeVert gets it. Shot clock down to 7. LeVert to Stewart. Stewart against Batazzi, lost it. De Silva comes up with it.
That's great work by Batazzi. His closeout and then the angle he took to cut off penetration.
Desmond Bane tried to get it up high, but Stewart good contested that. Cunningham the other way. Cunningham gets inside, has it knocked away. He thought he was fouled. Anthony Black goes right at Stewart. This time banks it home.
Quick hands in the paint by the Magic. Come up with the strip. Again, anytime you get numbers in a game like this, you've got to take advantage of it, get a shot up on the rim. Really patient there by Anthony Black to go over the top of Isaiah Stewart, who was in great position.
Foul on Batazzi. That's the 4th team foul.
You see the defense here. That's 4 black jerseys in the paint. Have a lot of play-ons, and then Anthony Black able to convert it.
Dennis Jenkins comes in. Cunningham will sit down. 9 points, 3 boards, couple of assists for Cunningham. 4 of 6 from the field. Jenkins had this huge breakout season. Did not play well in game 1, which was his NBA playoff debut. Jenkins gets inside. Shot blocked. Batazzi got a piece of it. Stewart right there on the follow.
The thing I like about these two teams are their pickup points. In the half court, they're well above 3-point line. Bringing the ball up, they're picking up full court. Their pickup points are just defensive-minded teams.
Another block shot. Herter couldn't hold on. Bane trying to get it back. Looks to save it. Throws it. And the ball out of bounds. Pistons ball. Boy, these two teams are getting after it defensive. Close to a 5-second count. And Jenkins will bring it up. Jenkins, when Cade Cunningham was out with that collapsed lung, played spectacular basketball. Green back up top. Herter. 4-5 reserves out there for the Pistons as Herter knocks it down. A 3-pointer for Herter. And the Pistons now 3 of 6 from long range.
You cannot overstate the importance of that shot by Herter. They're desperately looking for 3-point shooter somewhere else on their roster besides Duncan Robinson and Cade Cunningham. Herter, one of those guys that's capable.
Wagner kicks it out in the corner. De Silva gets a good look. That's too strong. Ball kept alive by Anthony Black. So Desmond Bane winds up with it. He can't get to the ball. Black again the tip, but this time goes right to Green. Shot clock turned off. No fouls to give. Jenkins looking. 6 seconds. Jenkins pulls back. 2 seconds. And a foul by Bain with a second remaining will send Jenkins to the bench, to the free throw line for 2, with his team up by 4.
Tremendous work by Desmond Bain. He just at the end of that, on that last crossover, his right hand reaches in and gets Jenkins up in the net.
Upset about that foul from Anthony Black, and then Stewart comes in. Capers and everybody is trying to get control of this. You're going to let them be physical, but at the same point in time, you've got to make sure you're paying.
First free throws for the Pistons. Magic took 9. Jenkins missed both, and his second shot attempt blocked by Desmond Bain.
Expected, 2 physical teams, and it's going to be a 48-minute fight, so that's what we got to be ready for.
All right, thanks for your time. Mike?
All right, Lise. Wagner, Carter, Kane in for the first time with Black and Bain. Wagner gets inside, trying to jam it in there. Javonte Green hurt himself. He deflected that. LeVert goes inside. Layup, bank shot is good. But Javonte Green, he's wincing down and limping. He kind of turned awkwardly. Wagner kicks it out in the corner. Kane lets it fly. That three-pointer won't go. Rebound Holland. Duren back in. Karis LeVert finds a spot. Duren keeps it alive. Jenkins saves it. Jenkins makes his move, gets past Wagner, gets into the paint, flips it up, bangs it home. He had some explosive games coming off the bench, and then in 19 games that he started.
Gave them a huge lift with the injury to Cade Cunningham, and was playing so well coming down the stretch. Really struggled in game 1, so you know he's feeling nice about getting one of those to go in the lane.
Wagner got his own rebound. Bain blocked by Jenkins, gets it out in the corner. Black misses. Wagner the rebound. The Magic have not been a good three-point shooting team all season as Carter misses that one. And right now, they're 7 for 31, 23% from the field, 1 for 9 from 3. Duren drills it off his foot. And Carter with LeVert in pursuit, not time enough, and Carter throws it down. Big smile for Wendell Carter.
Well, my thing right now is I think that the Detroit Pistons are over pursuing the Magic. That's why they're giving up so many offensive rebounds. You can play with intensity, you can play with force, but they're overreacting to so many shots and so many plays.
Carter blocks Duren. Duren lost it again, but then a foul. Duren trying to get in some kind of rhythm, has not found it yet.
Where that shooting hand was exposed.
And LeVert banks it home. Karis LeVert puts the Pistons back up by 8. The 9 turnovers have been the Pistons' biggest problem here so far. As Wendell Carter looks, Wagner trying to get himself going. He has just 2 points. Black the extra pass, go in the corner. Kane lost the dribble, picked up by Duren.
But that was a clinic in rotations and closeouts, communication, taking away all space on the perimeter, forcing a drive.
Jenkins misses, and 2 Pistons come flying in and knock heads. Javonte Green and Ron Holland. Green helping each other up. Here in the second, Orlando with just 23 points, again 25% shooting. But they're only down by 8. Black with Jenkins right on him, and a foul before the shot attempt. Tyler Ford and Eddie Malloy are going to discuss it. Jenkins is hoping for an offensive foul call, but it will not be the case. It's going to be on Jenkins. What they call it, the act of shooting. Yep, Eddie Malloy says yes. He had to gather, so Black's going to shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, they were trying to say Black was hand fighting while he was dribbling, and there was a lot going on with his left hand there, with all kinds of contact up the floor.
Well, for the Orlando Magic this year, because of so many of their big players had a lot of injuries, Anthony Black had a lot of extra chance to play, and he has made the most of the opportunities.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
By the way, Black and Holland out there at the same time. Those 2 were teammates in high school in Duncanville, Texas. They won a state title. They said when the 2 of them, they used to talk about it when they were in high school. Maybe someday we'll play against each other in the NBA. And here they are playing against each other in an NBA playoff game. Duren can't get it. Carter and Suggs come away with it. Suggs throws it up. Oh, and goes down, and a hard fall from Kane. That was an awkward way to go in. I don't know how he was able to get it to fall.
I think a ball hit the backboard first.
Kane misses, and the rebound Duren. Jenkins racing up the floor, trying to beat everybody down. Kicks it out in the corner. LeVert spots up. Can't get it. Carter with another rebound.
And look, right now the Detroit Pistons are holding on to this lead, but how much longer is Cade Cunningham going to be out? You see Duncan Robinson's ready to check in, but I think they've done a good job of weathering any sort of Orlando push here early in the second.
Black to Suggs. Shot clock winding down. Suggs is going to have to get it off. Stripped by Holland. Gets it off in time. The 24-second violation. That's why Holland's out there. Another excellent defender for the Pistons, and did a superb job on that possession. 3 for Orlando. Here's Duncan Robinson. Leans in. Pass to Duren. Duren across the lane. Gets that to go. And that's his first field goal. And first points.
And the first attempt he's had that was remotely on balance and in rhythm and not forced into all kinds of traffic. Jalen Duren took his time after he secured that basketball and got to his strength.
Averaging over 19.5 per game in his all-star regular season. Suggs gets a good, clean look. And finally, the Magic get one to go down from three-point range.
Well, it does feel like Orlando's dodged a bullet here early. They're shooting 28% from the field, 2 for 11 from the 3. But their energy, their offensive rebounding, and the turnovers they've forced have kept them in this.
And they're only down by 3, maybe less than that. Kane ahead. Banchero lost it out of bounds. You know, Duren, just the hustle of him running down the floor made Banchero think twice about it. Well, watching this current Pistons team that has a chance to bring this city another NBA championship. Duncan Robinson can't hit. Banchero, tough rebound in traffic. Taken away by Tobias Harris. Harris to Cunningham. Sets, fires, can't hit. And Banchero another rebound. Suggs, the leading scorer in the game with 10. He has the only 2 3-pointers as we have all knocked out of bounds. Only 2 3-pointers for Orlando. Neither team shooting well. The two teams have combined 5 for 24 from 3. That's some ugly three-point shooting. Good ball denial from Duncan Robinson. But Tazi back into the hands of Suggs as we get to the midway point here in the second. Suggs, nice feed inside. De Silva couldn't hold on. Isaiah Stewart comes up hobbling as he limps down the floor. Both teams now with 10 turnovers.
Well, and that's the thing. Teams get sped up. Right now, both teams are playing with such intensity. Look, there's 2 people on Cade Cunningham, and the Detroit Pistons are having trouble even inbounding the ball full court. There's a level of intensity that is forcing those turnovers. I don't think it's necessarily bad basketball.
We saw Ben Wallace before. He must be loving this kind of game.
Oh, Rick Mahorn, too. Both of those guys, something tells me they would have been just fine in a series like this.
Thompson can't get it to go. They bat it off the backboard. Knocked loose, goes to the hands of Robinson. Thompson to Cunningham. Duncan Robinson and a moving screen call on Thompson. That's going to be his 3rd personal in just 8 minutes.
And fall.
And you know, look, they get that call because of how determined Kane was to chase around that screen. I don't think there's a team in this league with perimeter players that chase around screens as well as the Orlando Magic with what Suggs does, De Silva does, Anthony Black. You saw it out of Kane, and it sets the tone for your entire defense. Nothing is conceded.
Holland picks up the foul there, so free throws from Banchero. He's got 6 points already. Missed his first 2 free throws. Magic have taken 12 free throws, Pistons 2. Now remember, in game 1, the disparity was in favor of Detroit. They took 38 free throws. Orlando only took 19.
And it's what I said earlier, like you're looking at this, if you're shooting 28%, you've got 10 turnovers. Halfway through the second quarter, you're not supposed to be in a 1-possession game at that point, but that's yet where they find themselves. So I think right now, Jamal Mosley and the Magic are just comfortable. They dodge the early energy out of the Pistons, and now this game is just settled in to a half-court defensive battle, and they'll take their chances in that kind of game.
Cunningham drives in, can't get that to go. Every shot is contested. And Carroll lobs it across. Good defense from Holland, but Holland called for a foul.
That was a great cutoff, in my opinion.
Thought he beat him to the spot also. That's great anticipation.
Well, because he was beat. So he was trying to catch back up to the play. And then look, he's beat right now. And now he's catching up. And look, he drives right back at his body. Now, if you hit a brick wall and fall, that's not on you.
De Silva on the drive. His floaters up won't go. Stewart snatches that rebound. Here's Cunningham in the open floor. Back out Robinson. Robinson drives inside. Layup can't get it. Rebound Stewart. Bank shot is good. Boy, it is tough to make buckets here in the first half. 3-point lead for the Pistons. 4.5 remaining second quarter. Banchero guarded by Harris. Suggs well behind the line, knocks down the three. He's 3 for 5 from three-point range. The rest of the team is 0 for 7.
And he's picking up from game one when he had that incredible start that I thought took the lid off the basket with those 2 early threes in game one. Suggs, the one guy that's been in rhythm from the three-point line through 2 games.
Cunningham, foul by Batazzi. And Cunningham will shoot his first free throws.
And this is Suggs, you know, the rhythm he had, how confident he was going into game one, had that great early start that I thought everybody fed off of. And now here he is again tonight, knocking down threes.
Cunningham, the first overall pick in the draft back in 2021. In his first 3 years in the league, the Pistons' presence, and it wasn't easy sometime. Of course, last year they had that terrific turnaround, and this year one of the best teams in the NBA. He is, for a young guy, he's one of the great leaders in the NBA, just 24 years old. Duncan Robinson pokes it in the backcourt, and Carroll gets it. Shot clock's at 9.
Give him space.
And Carroll makes his move, goes in on Robinson. Count it, and a foul. Just overwhelmed him with size there and a chance for a three-point play.
Well, that's why I said give him space. They've already overreacted to Wagner multiple times, but if you're playing on his body, you're at his mercy.
And Carroll misses another free throw. He's missed 3 free throws, has 10 points. Orlando back up by 1. They've trailed by as many as 8. Cunningham. Suggs trying to stay with him. And a foul. So free throws for Cunningham.
Yes, find them some shooting, but can you find him another consistent high-level scorer? There are not a lot of first-team All-NBA players that don't have an elite 20-point-a-game scorer next to them.
That was the difference. I mean, you had the entire starting 5 in double figures for the Orlando Magic, 2 guys in double figures for the Detroit Pistons, and one of them was Tobias Harris, who didn't even have a good shooting night, but still had at least a decent number to support Cunningham.
And Cunningham misses free throws. Both teams have missed free throws. We're all tied up. 3.5 to go here in the second. A low-scoring, defensive-minded game, as expected. Desmond Bane back in. 6 on a 24. Wagner to Suggs, throws it up at the rim. Looked like he was almost going to, like a lob pass, as Robinson comes the other way.
That was a Klay Thompson or a Sam Hauser no drop at all on that catch. The ball did not move from where he touched it to where he released it.
Suggs just picked up a foul away from the ball. That's his second.
There, but he's got to find other ways. He can't just accept the coverage, impose your will on this game.
Cunningham, 7 to shoot. Wagner on.
Richard, not 1900s. Okay?
The back shot is good.
Unbelievable.
What? Jalen Duren with his second field goal. 2-point lead for the Pistons. Suggs to Banchero. Banchero also in double figures. And yet another foul. And more free throws for Paolo Banchero.
And you love a good ATO. What separates good coaches from great coaches is, can you get good shots for your key players that need opportunities? Duren needs to get on the board. He needs something going. So J.B. Bickerstaff draws something up, gets him an easy bucket. These are things that can help get your superstar going. Kudos to Coach J.B. Bickerstaff.
And Banchero misses another free throw. He's 2 for 6 during this regular season, 77%. he has in his brief time. He's had some great playoff performances. Last year in the 5 games against Boston, averaged 29 a game. Remember that Game 7 loss in Cleveland back in 2024? He had 38 and 16. He's had big time numbers in the playoffs. 11 points here in the first half. Pistons up 1. Bain fighting through a screen. Here's Tobias Harris, gets in a lane, across, and a nice floater for Harris for his 3rd field goal.
That's really nice. That's a nice counter for Tobias Harris. You know, he's not always going to get the ball in his sweet spot. You have to create something sometimes for yourself. Really under control.
Take it top 200.
By contractually obligated, you mean that 20 I slipped you.
Under a minute and a half to go here in the second. Cunningham operates against Carter, gets inside and puts it in. Cunningham getting into a groove now with 15 points, 15 of their 45.
Twice now in a row getting to his spot. Really one-on-one coverage into the lane where he's just too big. What a floater. Right there as a counter by Suggs.
With his offhand, he's got 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Cunningham going to work again, finds Herter. Kevin Herter launches, can't get that. Harris, foul won't go. Duren gets it, and a foul. Banchero took it away, and he wants him to challenge it, but I don't believe the foul is called on Banchero.
Players, that last time, Banchero waved everybody else off and squared up against Cade Cunningham. I think they would prefer, if they can, to have more size on.
Duren now 5 points, 4 boards, does have 3 assists. Made his first All-Star team this year. Some believe he can make All-NBA 3rd team. Certainly he's going to get a lot of votes, but has struggled so far in this series. 2-point Pistons lead. Final minute, 2nd quarter. Suggs finds some room. That one way off. Desmond Bain gets it. It did hit the rim. Barely grazed it. Wagner trying to get going. His left hand, and he's fouled.
A 3 off the dribble with a hand up. So be it. Live with it. It's just not his strength. One of the things the Magic have that can operate against a defense this physical, they've got ball handlers that have size and strength to play through contact. Wagner, Banchero, Desmond Bain, all 3 of those guys can play through the hand checks.
There's about a 3-second difference shot clock and game clock. Both teams in the penalty. Bain guarding Cunningham. Cunningham has had some great moves here in the 2nd quarter. Green couldn't hold on to it. 3 seconds to go. Wagner has some time. Sets, puts up the 3-pointer. And the first half comes to an end. If you like defense, game 2 of this.
Hope that they start getting some calls.
Let's check in with Lisa Salters.
Yeah, Mike, I asked Jamal Mosley to describe this game so far, and he just laughed and said, dogfight, wrestling match, physical, defensive battle. He said, knowing that the Pistons wanted to throw that first punch, he likes where his team is right now. He said they threw everything they had. It was early, and it's a tie game. We stood up to it. It's about not giving them extra possessions, taking care of the ball, he said. But as you guys were talking about in our green room at halftime, he said, if this is a 1-possession game come crunch time, I like our chances to win the game.
All right, Lisa, thank you. They're going to call an offensive foul after Harris hit the first shot to begin the 3rd quarter. Are they going to challenge? Nope.
My opinion, but when you look at the first half stats, Harris has 8, Cade Cunningham has 15, even though that bucket won't count. It looks like they're pacing offensively very similar to what they were in game 1. Cade looks like he's on pace for 30. Tobias Harris looks like he's on pace for 16. Everyone else is flat. They need somebody else to contribute.
Cunningham, Carter on him, bumps him, falling away. Difficult shot, and he nails it. Cade Cunningham now with 17.
That is tough. That's big shoulder, just getting into the defender, knocking him back on his heels, and he goes to that lean back. Such a tough shot going to your right on that baseline.
He is such a powerful driver, can take any kind of contact, really doesn't knock him off balance. Suggs step back. His 3-pointer won't go. Duren good boxing out, grabs his 6th rebound. Rebounding numbers right now, +4 for Detroit. Cunningham, hop step, nice feet inside, and Duren throws it down. 4th assist for Cunningham, and Duren gets his 3rd field goal.
And that's maybe the first interior connection those two have had, and that's one of the most potent 2-man combinations off ball screen in the league. That was just off penetration by Cunningham and rewarding his big man.
Desmond Bain nearly lost it. Shot clock down to 5. Bain drives on Robinson, spins, gets inside, kicks it out, stolen by Cunningham. Cunningham in the open floor, crossover, gets inside, draws the foul, banks it home. Oh, what a shot from Cade Cunningham. And the Pistons have opened up with 8 straight points here in the third.
Well, it starts with the defense. This is great help in
Collapsed lung. He did play the final 3 games of the regular season. Give him a little bit, then had obviously a week off before game 1. This is the largest lead of the game. A quick 9-0 start in just 2 minutes into the third quarter. The perfect way for the Pistons to open up the second half. Suggs got poked in the face. Wagner with 7 to shoot. Wagner trying to get going. He's their second leading scorer. Thompson the deflection and the steal. NBA steals leader during the regular season. Cunningham three-pointer. Rebound Harris. Duncan Robinson a clean look. In and out. Wagner trying to track it down, and it's still Pistons ball.
Now this, you give your NBA steals leader you trust the steals leader.
And the high hands coming at Wagner at 6'10". You know Wagner's going to put that ball up high. Thompson went up there to get a piece, and Tobias Harris keeps this Pistons run going.
Harris 5 of 7 from the field. He's in double figures, just a second Piston. That was the case in game 1. He was the only other Piston beside Cunningham to be in double figures. Desmond Bain lets one fly, and boy, the Magic needed that one. So Desmond Bain with his second field goal. Cunningham floats it in. Duran. Thompson. Stuff.
And that's the second time they've gotten it to Duran on that slip action when he dives, and he's made 2 plays out of it just on the touch, able to collapse the defense, and he's very skilled passer on that action.
He's got 4 assists. Wagner just 4 points as Desmond Bain lets that one fly, and over the backboard, out of bounds. They're now 5 for 19 from 3-point range.
Yeah, Duran getting involved right here.
Cunningham picked up by Carter. Carter knocks it loose, but a foul. Carter's not happy. That's going to be 4 fouls on Wendell Carter.
Cunningham is trying to say he was shooting. Capers is not falling for it.
That was going to be a jump pass somewhere. under the lane or to the other side of the floor, without a doubt. For the free throws if you can.
Carter stays in there with 4 fouls. Tobias Harris, couple of dribbles, pulls up, jumper's carried. Harris on the mark, 6 of 8 now from the field. Pistons up a dozen. A great start here to begin the third. Van Carroll left open, does not shoot as Duran closes. Van Carroll high arcing shot, way off the mark. Rebound goes to Harris. A rough start here for the Magic to begin the third. They're shooting now for the game 32%. Cunningham, Robinson, fakes, dribbles, fires. It's good. 3-pointer for Robinson. Largest lead of the game. Timeout Orlando. Pistons up 15. He was on that Miami Heat team that was the 8th seed playing and made it to the finals.
He's so important. He's only made 2 threes tonight, but his activity and his running around creates communication issues for a defense that leads to something good for somebody else. The constant threat that he represents.
Suggs extra pass. Bain does not get it off in time. They're now 1 of 4 from the field with 4 turnovers.
But you know the clock is running out. Their rotation was so strong it forced them into a 24-second shot clock violation.
Tobias Harris, wide open jumper. That one won't go down, and Carter with the rebound. Van Carroll goes right into Harris. Layup hit underneath the rim. Cunningham leads the break the other way. Pushing. Robinson, 3-pointer, puts it up, puts it in. It's an avalanche here in the third quarter for the Pistons. An 18-point lead. Ball poked away. Thompson picks it up. And Thompson throws it down. 22-3. Isaiah Thomas fired up. It's a 20-point lead.
And they feed off of it. The shot making opened it up a little bit, got the crowd into the game, and now their defense even more energized.
Carter Won't go. Rebound Cunningham. Cunningham's got 20 points, 7 assists. The Pistons have taken control. Duren down the lane and fouled. A hard tumble. Carter's going to pick up his 5th foul. Crowd obviously doesn't like it. Duren's 2 free throws and then possession. A huge call. He's just adding and throws it out of bounds. Was it deflected? They're saying no. And you hear the familiar chant, Detroit basketball. We have seen it here in the 3rd quarter.
And that's just Asar Thompson just running up and applying pressure to Tristan da Silva, who didn't really want to continue to handle the basketball against him.
Duren misses that. Banchero the rebound. What has been a disastrous 3rd quarter for Orlando. Banchero kicks it out. Suggs has a good clean look. And just nothing going down right now for the Magic. Da Silva the offensive rebound. Javonte Green trying to harass Banchero. Goes inside, stripped and stolen. Thompson had it, and a foul on Banchero. Everything going the Pistons' way right now.
Great defense by Green right there. That's just great hands. First, you have to have the size.
And up these huge runs. Again, this is something that when you look at the inconsistent.
Crazy, couldn't hear the whistle. How about that block from Isaiah Stewart?
Man, we've seen
free throws. Green in his 1st year. Talk about a great bargain. Signed a 1-year veterans minimum, $2.9 million. Played all 82 games, 6 starts, 3rd in the NBA in steals off the bench. This is a guy who wasn't drafted after a great college career at Radford. His first NBA was 4 years after his draft class. Played over in Europe, and now he's played for 5 teams in 7 years. And no matter where he goes, comes off the bench, plays great defense, smart, great instinct. He's had an impact here tonight. Banchero pulls up, jumper. Another one off the mark. Rebound Batazzi. Wild shot and a foul. So Batazzi will shoot as Stewart picks up his 2nd. The crowd tired from screaming in this 3rd quarter. Yet another miss. Tonight's upcoming playoff schedule brought to you by Progressive. The series shifts to Orlando Saturday and Monday. Magic, a good home team. Right now it looks like it's going to be 1-1 the series. Although crazy things do happen in the NBA, but the way Detroit is playing right now, total domination here in the 3rd.
Yeah, and Wagner, Carter, and Bain are combined 4 for 19. They're going to, especially on the road, you're going to need more contributions than that.
They had 53 combined points, those 3 guys in game 1. They've got 15 here tonight. Look, Banchero's got 11.
Heard him say, hey guys, we got 9 assists. Let's go out and have some fun. They're having a blast right now here in the 3rd. Cunningham drives. Pass deflected and stolen. Ahead of the pack is Suggs. Suggs off the glass. He's got 17. Anthony Black has come in. Tobias Harris. Green swings it. Four to shoot. Harris, pull up, jumper. Batazzi grabs it. Harris has had another good game. A little bit of everything. Banchero off the mark. He's now 4 for 13.
And this is one of the problems for the Magic. You fall behind, certainly 24, but even if they get behind 15, 18, their lack of three-point shooting just really extends the game for them. That's a lot of 2s and a lot of free throws to cut in to that kind of deficit.
Shot won't go. Black the rebound. The interesting thing is they have the most wins in the NBA this year after trailing by double figures as Black misses. But they're back down by 24 right now against this amazing defense of Detroit. Stewart a three. It's good. Pistons pouring it on here in the 3rd. A 27-point lead. 33-6 here in the 3rd.
More free-flowing and relaxed with some of those jump shots.
Da Silva lets it fly, and he gets a three-pointer.
If you're the Detroit Pistons, again, you want to finish the quarter strong. There's an offensive foul. That's not the mistakes that you want to make. What you don't want is to go into the fourth quarter and have this be something manageable for the Orlando Magic. You don't want this to be 14. You don't want this to be 12.
Yeah, at least Bane has gotten some decent looks for himself. He just hasn't had a great shooting night. Wagner really hasn't had great opportunities at all.
Wagner misses. Batazi's follow misses. Cunningham front court. Nice pass inside. Stewart gathers, banks it home, and a foul. All the Pistons firing right now.
Beef stew, knocking down threes, getting and one, bringing so much emotion to this game.
Stewart, 10 points, 5 boards. Cunningham, by the way, now with a 20-10 game. Under 2 to play here in the third.
And I'll tell you why this was so important to get this kind of separation. You know, you take this into the fourth quarter and it's a one-possession game, down 0-1 in the series already. That's a lot of pressure to make shots in the fourth quarter.
Anthony Black gets inside and draws the foul. It's like a 15-possession game right now. 82-55. Pistons during the course of the regular season, second in defensive rating, only Oklahoma City better. They were spectacular defensively. So Black will shoot. Magic haven't helped themselves at the line. They've missed 8 free throws, 15 of 23. Well, Saturday night on ABC will be what a series that has been, and what a rivalry that has become. 26-point lead for Detroit. Minute and a half to go here in the third. Jenkins back in for Detroit. Harris, 8 to shoot. The spin, the jumper well short. Wagner, the drive. Nice bank shot for Wagner. That's just his second field goal. He's a guy that averaged almost 21 a game during the regular season. That's just 6 points. Stewart against Batazi. LeVert on the bounce, on the run. Banker won't go, and a loose ball foul is going to go against Jenkins.
Minded game, we expected it. Somebody was going to have to loosen up these rims. Detroit did it in those first few minutes, and it just felt like that really triggered their defense because they finally had a little bit of breathing room.
Richard, what'd you see?
Well, when I know, it seems like they're stuck in the mud coming out. They're looking around. They're looking for answers. When you got a guy that averages 20 plus, he has 6 points. You talk about the versatility of this group where everyone is involved. They all scored. They all got assists. But right now, their offense looks like it does not exist.
The 7 turnovers also were critical. Jenkins gets inside, off balance, jumper's good.
That's tough. You get a player like that coming off your bench, being able to keep up the defensive pressure. Some guys are defensive guys, some guys are offensive players, and then some guys can do both.
Jenkins has shown he can flat out score. Wagner. Little push shot goes. By the way, Detroit has 38 points here in this third quarter after scoring 46, but the key is what they did defensively, completely shutting down this Magic team. Final seconds here in the period. Jenkins looking. He's going to have to hoist one up. Gets it off. Double clutch. And the third quarter comes to an end. Total domination from Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons. They outscore the Magic 38-16. Control after as dominant a third quarter as you could have. Game was tied at halftime. Now Pistons begin this fourth with a 22-point lead. They're up by as many as 27. By the way, just so you know, the largest comeback to start a fourth quarter in NBA playoff history is 21. So we're right there. For those of you hoping for a buzzer beater.
You remember those games? You remember what game that was?
Yeah, you played in one of them. It was the Nets and the Celtics. All blocked by Cunningham, but a foul.
Yeah, I figured there was a shot there coming, Mike.
It's the only reason I brought it up.
I was waiting for that shoe to drop.
When you said it to me, I was like, where's he going with this? I remember those days, the good old Boston Garden, Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker.
I bet those are the days you don't forget, those games.
No, they don't. You know what it was? We were down 2-1. It put us down 2-1.
Excuses now.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Look at him stumbling, stammering, trying to figure out what happened.
You know what? Let me drop the mic. We won the series. We won the series. Let me just say we won the series.
Very well done.
Thank you.
You dropped the baton, but you picked it up and finished the race right there. Good job.
I had to figure it out.
Bane may be off the line. Bane 11 points, just 2 of 9 from the field. Well, again, if you're the Magic, you just want to slowly chip away. Try to turn it over, and they do. Good double team. There's Batadze, and he just had it slip out of his hands. Cunningham, Harris, Duran, Robinson, and Thompson. Starting 5 out there for Detroit. Bane guarding Cunningham. 2 strong dudes right there. Cunningham shoots. Shot won't go. Rebound taken by Wagner. Wagner, De Silva, Black, Bane, and Batadze right now for the Magic. Wagner, a runner. Shot just kind of climbs over the rim.
That's his game. I mean, that's what he wants to do. Take you off the dribble. Gets to 1 foot, likes to jump and shoot those little push shots and leaders. He's had 3 of them now to go, finally finding some rhythm.
Timeout Detroit.
So it's a difference from being a hunter and now we're being the hunted. So I think guys are really settling in and really letting the game do all the talking out on the floor.
Good seeing you here. Ben Wallace, of course. I saw Lindsey Hunter a few moments ago. Just what about this current Pistons team kind of reminds you of yours?
Well, it's amazing because once we got here, you know, we used to look at the when these guys win, we just feel like we want to be a part of it to try to help them get to the next level.
And the face of this current Pistons team, obviously Cade Cunningham. What impresses you most about what you see from him?
His leadership. I mean, when we were going through our trials and tribulations when we weren't winning games, he never pointed the finger at anybody. You know, he got healthy. He's one of the best leaders in the game of basketball. When you look at the point guard
Contenders for about 6 or 7 years. Kept making.
I lost to them. We were up 3-2 at home with a chance to close them out. We lose to them in Game 7 here in Detroit. They go on to win the championship. And that team, they were just remarkable how there was nothing you could do as Paolo Banchero knocks down the mid-range jumper. There was nothing you could do to unsettle them. They played elite defense. They had 9 defenders deep, perimeter. They had everything that you could want, and they were just impressive to play against.
Let me tell you something, too. That dude, Rip Hamilton, you talk about one of the elite shooters off down screens that this league has ever seen in a difficult area to floor because he was coming out to 18, 19 feet where it was still crowded. Just absolutely lethal with his off-ball movement off screens.
I really hated playing in Detroit. I'm not going to lie.
Back in the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Yes,